Today we're talking about how I went from this to this. All right? Skinny to fat. When I tell you guys that I would say from as soon as I got into high school to probably until I was like 19, so graduated from high school, I weighed about $150, about 150 to 155 pounds. That's all I fluctuated throughout all of those 4 years. And I was always called skinny. I was always just the skinniest kid. I was fast and I was strong, so that made up for it. But for as long as I can remember, I've always been skinny, and I hated it. I hated it so much. I would get picked on a little bit. I would get picked on by like my brothers, my family, friends, stuff like that. I was skin and bones. I'm telling you, it was bad. And when I was trying to bulk, bro, I'm telling you, I tried everything. I would ask my dad, like, what can I do? Like, how do I get bigger? I have no idea. Like, help me out, give me some advice. So he would make me eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich after every class period. So that's 7 class periods. I did that for like a month. I had 7 PB&Js every single day for a month. I weighed back in, and I gained like 4 or 5 pounds, I think. And then it just went away. And the only thing that I gained from it was the fact that I now hate PB&Js with a burning passion. So that sucked. I just couldn't gain weight. I was so active. I had sports. I was eating a lot. Like, you can ask my mama. She'll tell you right now. She'll tell you that grocery bill was insane, especially when I was through high school. I would go out all the time and eat all this stuff, work out, everything. Tried it all, never worked. But that's just how it was. I was a kid, so my metabolism was just insane. So after high school, I kind of, gained a little bit of weight. I probably went up to like $160. So I was like, okay, 5 pounds, we're getting it. And then I got super sick. And I dropped like 15 pounds. And 15 pounds off of 160 is insane, which means that I was even smaller. I lost very little muscle that I had, so I was just super, super skinny, like skin and bones. It was bad. I just looked super unhealthy. I gained a little bit more weight when I stopped being sick, and then I moved. Okay, I moved out, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna try so hard to not be skinny. Like, I'm just gonna eat. We're talking like 10,000 calorie days, twice a week at least. So I move out, whatever, and I'm out eating with this person's family, and they speak Spanish, and I'm with my friend, and she's like, start speaking in Spanish. At that time, I didn't know Spanish. I do now. But they start speaking, and he starts laughing. I'm like, why you laughing, bro? And he goes, she said you're skinny. Like, bro, I had already gained like 5-10 pounds, and she was still calling me skinny. So that month, bro, within 2 months, I gained 20 pounds. And I was working out for 2 hours a day. I was running still. I was just eating 10,000 calories a day. I was like, I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of being the skinny guy all the time. So I put on 20 pounds in 2 months. So it's definitely possible. All those people who think like, oh, I can't put on weight, I don't know how. Like, brother, if you wanted to, you would do what I did. I'm talking 10,000 calories twice a week, at least 6,000 calories a day. Like, oh man, when I tell you I was eating, by 12 o'clock, I already had 5,000 calories in my system. I would make eggs. I would get the mass gainer. Oh my goodness. That stuff alone had 2,000 calories. And I would make this huge shake with eggs, mass gainer, bananas, peanut butter, just other stuff, like all you could think of, and I would just put down this enormous shake. And I would be like crawled up on the floor, just like laying there in so much pain, but it was so worth it. And at the same time, I was putting on muscle. I was getting a little chunky. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the face was getting a little bit fat, but I think personally it was worth it. Fast forward like a year, I come back to California, and I'm kind of chunky. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I still got muscle. Don't get me wrong. I was building both muscle and fat, but my face was a little bit more round. The muscles weren't that as defined. I had kind of like a dad bod going on. Nothing wrong with that, no hate, but I was like, man, I kind of miss being shredded. So then I got super into nutrition, and I think that that's where most of my knowledge comes from. I would study up on nutrition all the time. I took a class on nutrition. I didn't major in nutrition, so I'm not like crazy smart with it, but I know just enough, especially for myself and especially for my clients. So I put myself on a good little nutrition plan. That was just a super big cut, high in protein, low in carbs, low in fats, and I was just eating still. I went from looking like this, right? And then to looking like this, and then to looking like this, and then to looking like this. So it was just kind of a process. Like I went from here to here, but obviously we had these steps and this step, But it was a good change for me, especially. As soon as I came back and I was like started getting super serious in the gym, that's when I really started to see the results. Not only was I putting on good size now, I was putting on good muscle, not as much fat. I started lowering my body fat slowly. I would say that it was going down from like 17% all the way down to 10, to where in this picture I was at 7. And then now I'm kind of sitting back at like 9ish, and I'm a lot, just more filled. My muscles are filled. I just feel better. I'm definitely stronger. So it's kind of a trade-off. But I kind of realized, because I went on a little bit of a mini bulk after my track season, and it was feeling good because my strength numbers were going up. I'm telling you, like I was getting super strong. My bench is going up too. But then like the other day, I was looking in the mirror, and the abs like weren't really doing it anymore, and I was like, oh my god, is this worth it? And the more I thought about it, I was like, honestly, it's not worth it. Like, I don't like bulking that much. Every time I've tried to bulk and I get kind of, round faced, or like the muscles aren't as defined, I'm like, damn, I regret this. And I instantly like go on a super cut that's super unhealthy, and I'll lose all that fat and probably all that muscle that I gained. But as of right now, I am back on my cutting diet. Not so much cutting, but I would say as of right now, I'm not so much bulking in the sense that I'm going to intake a crazy amount of calories and put on a bunch of size. I'm more so in a sense trying to put on as much muscle as I can while still staying trying to put on as much muscle as I can while still staying as lean as possible. So I still want the abs, I still want the striations in the chest and in the shoulders, and I still want to look big. But I think I want the aesthetic look. I don't think I want like this big meat monster look. I want to look as aesthetic as possible. But not only that, I'm still an athlete. So like I can't just put on a bunch of muscle. I'm going to be immobile. So I am going to put on a little bit of size. It's exactly what I did last year. I take the summer to myself. I enjoy putting on size and putting on muscle, and just looking more full. And then when I get back to training for track and field, I just start cutting weight again, and I slim back down. I'm not as V tapered, I guess. That aesthetic look that everybody goes for in bodybuilding, which is fine. I just kind of go up and down. This is my last year, and I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling y'all, after this year, y'all gonna see a whole new me. I'm gonna bulk up. I'm obviously gonna get bigger. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna go more for that aesthetic look. But for now, we're gonna stay as athletic as possible. I still go on runs. I still sprint. I still hurdle. I still throw, jab, and shot and disc, and I'm still about to pole vault. So I need to stay like mobile, but like still an aesthetic look. So if y'all ever wonder why I don't let myself get big, it's because of that. I can get big if I wanted to. I just won't. Because I got to be fast. I got to be agile. I got to be mobile. I got to move. That's kind of the story about how I went from, skinny 155 with abs that are just genetic to big arms, bigger muscles, just looking more full and looking like I actually work out and I actually know what I'm talking about. So nowadays, I try to train other people to get to where I was. I honestly, like, I train all kinds of different people. I train moms, I train dads, I train females and males. I train people that are looking to lose weight, and I train people that are looking to gain weight. But if we're being completely honest, like, I truly enjoy helping people put on that mass and put on that strength, because I feel like that's what I'm the most comfortable knowing. That being said, I have gone to the point where I got a little bit too heavy, and I know how to cut down in a healthy way. So I know how to do both. I just really enjoy training people the other way around. That's the story about how I went from super skinny to more lean and more aesthetic looking build. If y'all want to know more on how I got there, like and subscribe. I keep posting daily. I'm going to let y'all know how to get from point A to point B, how to achieve your goals, how to look a certain way, how to get that aesthetic look that I'm currently going for. I'm going to keep you guys, within the loop of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, what I'm eating, just all that kind of stuff. To not only maintain my weight, but also to put on size and put on muscle. So stay tuned. We're going to keep it going. You already know. Hold on. Damn. Hold on. The arms looking kind of juicy right now. That's all I got for y'all today. About to go hit this back and bicep workout. Like and subscribe. Like for more content. Follow me on all the socials. You know the business. Stay tuned for more content. See y'all later.